Edward here from eReviewer.com. I have another video for you. I took a break from remote viewing. I actually quit remote viewing a couple of weeks back, or about a month ago, right around the time I did the last video. Um, Life was just too stressful, um, and I had to was going through the process of having to make some decisions of prioritizing. And remote viewing was unfortunately at that moment put on the back burner. I stopped. I said this is it. I'm done, um, and I need to focus on making money and that kind of thing. And um, I almost, as a result of money stress, I almost took a job that would have really completely taken me away from remote viewing. Completely. I would have no time, no energy to do any remote viewing. Um, but it would, bring in some money. So at the last moment, I decided not to do that. I decided that um, there's got to be a different way, a better way to do it. Um, and so over the past couple of weeks, I still got started doing remote viewing again, projects. A big project that I did 10 sessions for, a very big, very bizarre project um, that I did over the past 2 weeks that I don't even have the feedback for that yet. So there's stuff coming out. Um, but what I've decided to do is to open a Patreon account and have that available for subscribers. This will help me to not have to sacrifice my remote viewing and help us to get through the month without me having to sacrifice so much of my life. I work two jobs, full-time job, 10 hours a day, and I work a part-time job as well on my days off to make it through, and it's tough. And so I decided to do the Patreon account. I don't have it set up yet. It's in the process. I'm still working out the details. But I have a lot of ideas of what I want to do in there, and it's very going to be very exciting for me to do. So anybody who is interested in that, I will probably let you know in the next video. I'll probably have it all set up. What I'm looking to do in there is in those videos, what I'm going to be posting in a Patreon account for subscribers is going to be a far more in-depth analysis and look at the process, where I'll be going through the videos um, and doing a deep analysis of what exactly is going on in my mind, what exactly is taking place. That's one of the things that I want to do in there. I want to try a lot of different things. I want to try some different supplements that people say will enhance cognition or concentration. Experiment with those and see if they produce what kind of results they produce in my ability to have a perceptual experience. Those are some of the things that I want to do in there. So I hope that people will find that interesting and join it and go along on this journey with me. And there's just, the more I think about it, the more ideas come into my mind of things that I can do. If I have some help and I don't have to spend so much of my time and my energy doing the other kind of laboring work, I can dedicate so much more time to this exploration of consciousness. Because that's what my page is about. It's always been about that. It's not about providing the data hungry people with the answers to the mysteries of the universe and aliens are on, Jupiter and what are they eating for breakfast. That has never been about what I'm about. Oh, actually, who's calling me right now is the guy who did that session or gave me that target. Maybe he's calling to give me some feedback. I'll call him back. So that's what's going on, and so I hope people will come along with me on this journey. I'm really excited about it. There's so many things that I can do, adventures, call it adventures in remote viewing. So that's coming up, and I will probably have that all set up by the next video. Let's go on to this one. All right, so I decided to do a target. Again, I've been doing a lot of paper sessions, long form CRV paper sessions, 30, 40, 60-minute long sessions on video, and I decided to go back and do some of these ones on the board to kind of mix it up. But what I've also been doing is I've been adding an additional preparation technique. And this is an idea that I got from Dick Allgaier, who does a breathing technique that he was talking about in one of his videos. When he first had a full-on experience with a target, he did a specific breathing technique, which he didn't say what it was. He didn't talk about it, and it gave him a certain experience that proved to be real and accurate, and changed how he does remote viewing and how he does this work. So that piqued my interest. Now, I know a lot of breathing techniques, and I incorporate breathing techniques in my meditations. I meditate in sensory deprivation. Floating in water in the dark. I don't recommend that for everybody, unless that's something you're aware of. But I'm a fan of John Lilly, the guy who invented the sensory deprivation tank. I do my meditations floating in water in the dark. I do yogic breathing in that setting. I am a certified Kundalini yoga instructor. And what I incorporate are yogic breathing techniques that I learned from yoga. And one of them is called breath of fire. And breath of fire is a very fast diaphragmatic breath where you breathe very quickly through your nose, and you're bringing a lot of oxygen into your lungs, and you begin to flood your system with fresh oxygen. What I do, which is what I had learned in yoga class and had a full-on experience with this breathing, was to do breath of fire for several minutes, including long deep breathing and then holding my breath. What happens when I hold my breath after I'm fully oxygenated is that I'll have a rush of possibly oxygen, blood and oxygen to my brain. When that happens, I have a mind-altering experience. It clears a lot of debris, and this is generic terms, but it clears a lot of debris out of my mind. I do that in my meditations. I haven't really incorporated that into remote viewing, but when I heard Dick Allgaier saying he was doing some type of breathing technique, I decided to try it. Try doing the breath of fire and holding my breath. I was in a conversation with somebody, in one of my YouTube subscribers, about doing breath techniques. He was saying he was doing them and it was working for him. And so I've been trying them. All these sessions here where I've done it, basically I take about 5 to 7 minutes prior to the session to do these breathing techniques, I'm focusing on the target. I go through my what appears to be like a Kundalini rising experience, and I allow myself to become aware of any impressions that come into my mind once the flush is taking place. And I've been getting, it's working. So in this session here, I got my target online, blind. I do my breathing technique. I'm getting myself to the point where I'm having the flush into my brain. I'm having a mind-altering experience. And I have a vision in my mind. I'm not trying to have one, it comes into my mind. What I'm seeing in my mind is a wooden structure surrounded by woods. That's what I'm seeing in my mind. It's a flash, it's there for a second, and then it's gone, and then it's just a memory. So that's in my mind, and I start my session. This is a very short session. I'll kind of scoot along here as I'm going through it. Wide, open, far, open, distant, outside, distant, bright again, bright, vertical. Verticals are coming through. So now I'm getting some dimensional sensations. This is what's in my mind here. Distant, quiet. This is kind of an AI here, sleepy or nice. Distant. Echoes. Echoes. Trees. In my mind right here, I have this image in my mind from the breathing. This is a wooden structure surrounded by trees. Alright, so I would get the feeling of a structure. Reminds me of a church. Reminds me of a church or a windmill, something like that. You know, like a wooden building with like trees and a structure, quiet, sleepy. Let me get back to the structure here. This interesting place. Interesting place. Interesting place, like wood, like the rural feel. Quiet. Rural outside. What else? Rural outside. Trees and like a wooden building or a wooden structure. Like a brown or yellow tan color. Kind of a sleepy town. Reminds me of like Sleepy Hollow. You know, all of the signals, Sleepy Hollow. Like farm, or like like that farm area. That kind of feel. That's the feel. That's the aesthetic of it. Dimensionally, a structure and natural landscape here. I'm going to end on that. That's it. So, I'm going to be doing some more. I'm going to be exploring this a lot more with this breathing technique and seeing what I can capture. I even want to videotape myself doing the breathing techniques and then doing the session as well. So that's it, man. It's back on. Remote viewing is back on the forefront. What I want to do is, if I can make this Patreon thing work and be able to free myself up, that will allow me to focus so much more of my energy on consciousness exploration. That's what this is. I'm exploring my perceptual consciousness. I'm using these blind targets as indicators of what exactly is taking place in my mind below, at, and above the threshold of awareness. I want to explore that deeper. There's so many more things that I want to do. So right now I got about 200 videos that I've compiled over the past 6 years. I'm at the 6-year anniversary. August of 2012 is when I posted my first videos. And I'm about to take this, I want to go much further with this and really explore my awareness and my consciousness, capturing these phenomena on video. And there's just so much more I can do. So I hope you find that interesting. Keep an eye out. Like I say, the next video I should have the details of the Patreon site, and so I can go much further. What I want to do in there again is I'm going to go over sessions and really examine and critique and explore everything that is taking place as I'm going through that experience. So it will be a far more in-depth evaluation and exploration of these sessions, old and new. So I hope you find that interesting. I hope you come along with me on this journey. And thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching, and many more to come.